The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
I love gold!
Welcome everybody to the newest edition of Pillow Talk. It's your boy Franklin. We were on a bit of a 1-week hiatus as Uncle Howard decided to recreate the famous Nick Cage films, the museum ones. I forgot what they were called.
National Treasure.
National Treasure, and here he is abruptly. Uncle Howard couldn't even give me a moment to find it stored in my brainwaves here. Uncle Howard, how was DC?
Well, shut the front door if you're not a son of a biscuit. I'll tell you, DC was a hell of a town. I'm sorry that I cut you off. I'm feeling on. I'm feeling good, Franklin. The week off, it did me good. I recharged. I looked at some of the funniest clowns I've ever seen up there on Capitol Hill, passing their little laws. You know, you got those little fellas like Lindsey Graham, and of course I am still trying to track down Mitch McConnell's nudes. If anyone has those or knows how to file a Freedom of Information request, get in touch with me.
A Freedom of Information request for Mitch McConnell's nudes. I'm not entirely sure that's how that works. I think you just gotta jump them right from the bathroom stall, you know? That's how it works, you know.
Well, I was in the bathroom stall and I saw everything, but we were both so impressed with what each other came across that I forgot to bring out my phone.
Were you tapping your foot? Wasn't that the old thing? It was like I don't know if it's a myth or not.
I adopted a wide stance.
You adopted a white, but you don't remember like it tapping your foot like it was like George Michael or Boy George or something.
No, there was some sort of a Republican senator, I believe, down from our fair state of Florida, even who was arrested for trying to have a secret homosexual liaison in a airport bathroom. And then what he said was he just put a wide stance when he pooped, and so his feet went underneath the stalls.
You know, it's unfair for them to criticize his technique. But anyway, since I was rudely interrupted, this is Pillow Talk with Franklin and Uncle Howard, the only podcast that broadcasts live from a king-size bed. That's right, the king-size bed me and my uncle sleep in every night. And we're like Rhonda Shear. We're up all night, and we always watch a little movie before we go to bed. But this time, we got a special guest with us. I don't know if he picked the movie or not. It's okay. He'll be fine watching whatever. He is responsible for the very prestigious Blue Ribbon Podcast Awards. It's been going on for years now. This is his first public appearance. I'm with the commissioner. I don't want to divulge his name unless he wants to. Commish, how are you doing there?
Gentlemen, it is an honor to be here with you. Of course you can say my name as long as there are no creditors listening. My name is Taylor Carver. I run the Blue Ribbon Podcast Association of Awards, and I have nothing to hide, so I'm so excited to be here. Uncle Howard, Franklin, two great men, sitting next to the bed. I was going to get in with you. There were some comments made about my sweating, and I just explained here in down Mexico Way, Florida, it's a little warm for me, so I like to keep it, I like to, I sweat, it's a glandular thing. Again, it's not a fear thing, so we don't even have to get into that.
Well,
please.
Bienvenidos, Senor Carver. And we do appreciate you making the trip all the way down here from Medicine Hat to visit us here in Florida City. And
when you have as much money as I do, which is almost endless amounts, you can fly anywhere.
Whoa.
Name a place.
Naples, Florida.
Absolutely. Did it last weekend.
West Palm Beach, Florida.
Haven't yet. Thinking about it. Maybe spring break.
The Gaza Strip.
Wow, exotic.
I put the strip in Gaza Strip, if you know what I'm saying.
I as a rule, I don't go to the Middle East. That's not a racial thing. It's just, again, with the heat, it is not for me. I ruin my Versace suits by sweating through them. So that's.
Now I believe it's
that's
pronounced Versace, is it not?
Maybe if you don't
I-
own 12. it
Oh,
is.
wow.
Maybe
Oh.
that's how that works.
Maybe
But
that's how the commoners say it. Okay,
Yeah.
not how you say. Oh, okay.
Not
well, see, I'm
myself.
learning
No.
something.
When I was in Italy, the city of Italy, with Johnny Versace, he said to me, "Oh, Mr. Taylor, you're such a nice man. You wear my suits that look so good." And I said, "Please stop using such a stereotypical accent. That is not appropriate."
That
And
is
we
very
had fun.
progressive of you.
Yeah, well, I love to include people. That's what the Blue Ribbon Awards are about. Inclusion.
Wow.
So
Yes.
I know it's not popular. And
It's-
people won't like me for saying that. I've already had comedians cancel on me. I don't
Wow.
want to name any names. Nick DiPaolo.
Nick DiPaolo has some nerve here to cancel on you. Wow.
And
What's next?
He-
Jeff
Nick-
Dunham?
He asked for one thing on his rider. He said, "All I want is to scream in the face of a teenage feminist." And I said, "Nick, you're over 60. Probably you shouldn't do that." It was fine. He didn't do it. He said some words that we don't say anymore. It's whatever. It's fine. He's
But
doing
Wow.
you substituted him with Nick DiPapolo, the United States Olympic judo competitor, who I believe finished 4th place in 2016. Isn't that right?
Well, because I'm such a high roller, I managed to also. So, number one, yes, that gentleman, whose name I certainly know. But also, the character, Nick Papagiorgio, Ethan Embry, I got him to come out, and he'll be there.
Nice.
Now that's
Whoa.
a get.
That's big money, because he was
That is
in.
big money.
And
He's
it
got
was
5
nothing.
Corvettes. He's got
Yeah.
like 5 Corvettes. I mean,
You get a car, and you get a car.
he's a big winner. So you got the person that Ethan Embry portrayed, the real Nick Papagiorgio. That is
Exactly.
something. Wow.
Based
Because
I
as
can't
you
wait
know,
to see him.
character.
All movies are based on true stories. And so you
Otherwise,
just
how
have
would
to
they
find
know
the
what
people.
happened? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
wow.
speaking of movies, what a segue. We all pick a movie before we go to sleep.
All right. So can I start off, Uncle Howard?
I wish you would, friend.
All right. So my movie is The Ghost of Ex-Girlfriend's Past, starring Matthew McConaughey, but most notably known for Michael Douglas, portraying the character Wayne. We all know the iconic character Wayne. no
Wayne's
last name.
World.
Yes. No. I don't believe it's based off of that guy.
Party top. Excellent. Doodaloo, doodaloo.
So Wayne is the guy who taught Michael Douglas in that movie, or who taught Matthew McConaughey not to respect women.
Now
And
that's smart.
isn't it ironic that he would portray a person like that?
Yes, because he respects women so much in real life. Isn't
does.
that the case?
Well, I don't know because he used to eat pussy,
Yeah.
but now Michael Douglas, he's gonna stop by. He's right here. Michael, Michael, come on. Well, I used to eat pussy, but I had a bad batch recently. I don't eat it anymore. I had a bad batch. Okay, Michael, calm down. Calm
you
down.
don't
had
want-
a bad batch.
You
Mike-
want to make sure it's fresh and not a bad batch. I'm not sure what a bad batch means, but you don't
I got
want
cancer from one once. That's what I
Mike-
told Ant-Man. Don't go deep diving like I did. I had a bad batch. It almost killed me, Taylor.
Michael, it's obvious you possess the time stone since we've seen you portray a very young man even in just a movie that came out this year. Why don't you just bring yourself back to the time before you got pussy cancer and just live from there on out?
It's a very good question. I don't want to get branches in time like that. I'm a survivor. I don't want to eat any more pussy as
Like
long as I
Beyonce.
live. As long as I live, I don't want any more. It was a bad batch.
This
I don't
is
want any
heart-rendering.
more. Yeah. Wow, Michael. Well, thank
This
you for
is
joining
sad.
us.
This
Yeah.
is
I'm
pathetic.
sweating now out of grief.
Yeah.
Not,
well,
not heat.
Michael, go join Ant-Man back in the quantum realm. We're very sorry you had this experience. I just wanted to go over your movie. I apologize for any harsh feelings that may have been dug up here. So, moving on. Uncle Howard, what do you have for us?
Well, video games have captured the consciousness of America more than ever before. Anywhere you go, you're talking to a video game person. If you're going to the store, hey, what are you playing lately, friend? Is that Wolfenstein or Doom? Well, I'm here to tell you that now video games are even in movies. What if I told you there was a movie that was shot so it looked like you were in a video game, and it was one of the video games that gives me motion sickness? This movie is called Hardcore Henry, and it looks exactly like Half-Life 2, except it's a movie. All you know about Hardcore Henry is that he has hands, because you see them in almost every single shot.
So wait, does Hardcore Henry get a POV BJ at some point?
No, because it's not rated R, unfortunately. However, Hardcore Henry is, he's a fighting man, and he does a lot of things where he'll, like, get thrown out of a car, but he's shooting a gun.
Now that is pretty cool.
That's awesome. As a man with means beyond anything you two?
Well, Michael Douglas makes
Michael Douglas,
three.
yeah. I have definitely received over 13 POV BJs, and
Whoa.
I'm sorry that it's not in that film because it is unbelievable.
Now that's one of my favorite sex positions. One of my favorite of the 5 that exist.
I thought we were up to 6.
5, 6, yeah. There's 6 sex positions total, roughly.
Hardcore Henry invents a 7th in the
Oh,
movie.
does he?
Yeah, it's when he's getting thrown out of a car, but he's shooting a gun.
I don't know how sexual that is, but all right. I mean,
I'm half-hired.
That's the way
Okay.
Hardcore Henry does it. Everything's a little bit sexual.
Do you see Hardcore Henry's face at all in this film?
Never. And also, the movie was produced by Russians, so most of the actors in it are no one you've ever heard of.
Now is Hardcore Henry? Is it Henry Rollins?
Yeah, it is. It's Henry Rollins, and it's Henry Zabrowski, Henry Winkler. Yeah, that's right. The Fonz.
The Fonz doesn't get much cooler than that,
It
guys.
doesn't get much cooler than that. The final scene is you see the guy's hand go down, and it bangs on the jukebox.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Yeah. I don't know if that ever played on Happy Days, but I'm sure it's pretty cool. The Fonz had the power of the snap. The Fonz had force powers. Nobody ever talks about that. You know, he went to battle with Mork, you know?
That's true. He was equally matched with Mork.
He did. Mork wanted to cave the roof of Arnold's down on them, and the Fonz was using the snap. And it was like the power of like the finger and the snap, you know? I vividly remember this event, you know?
But before we get into business, I just briefly want to talk about, while we're talking about Arnold, I want to say that Pat Morita was in some direct-to-VHS movie I once watched, and he played a judge, and he bangs the gavel on the table, and then he goes, "Ah, my dick." And I think to this day that's one of the funniest gags I've ever seen.
That is pretty cool. But anyways, we're here blessed by the commissioner of the Blue Ribbon Podcast Awards, a very legitimate award. I just want to clarify that, you know, a lot of scrutiny has come your way. It's undeserved.
Franklin, thank you for saying that, because there's 2 things I hate in this world: not being rich and the haters.
And the haters.
Now,
you got a lot of those.
Yeah, luckily I am rich, and so I don't have to deal with that. But I am just besieged by losers and numbskulls and dimwits and haters all the time. And they just are always, you know, they see someone achieving greatness and recognizing other people's greatness through blue ribbon awarded, and they can't stand it, and it makes me sad, to be honest with you.
It makes them sick to their... I mean, they're so jealous. They are so... Everybody wants a Blue Ribbon Podcast Award, but nobody wants to work for it.
Exactly. And I look at them, and they're as green as the blue ribbons are at the moment, and again, that's a hater thing, because when I went to get them printed off, the gentleman behind the counter, he looked at me and he said, "Hey, are you noted millionaire Taylor Carver, commissioner of the Blue Ribbon Awards?" And I said, "Yes, obviously I am. You might recognize one of my 12 Versace suits." And he said, "I do." And but then he just kind of gave me a look, and then I come back and they're green. But again, I want to make everybody, put them at ease. The time BugCon comes around, They'll be blue, baby. It's fine. Green
must-
turns to blue. It's on the color wheel.
Well, you see, proof is right there. They will eventually be blue. Give it time. Give it time, people. Stop being haters.
It's
In
like Kevin
time.
Garnett said, anything is possible. He also said that Carmelo Anthony's girlfriend's vagina tasted like Honey Nut O's or something.
Honey Nut
Anyway.
Cheerios.
Yeah. He
What
said
a
a lot of
statement.
stuff.
He
Is
said
that
a lot of
true?
things. Well, I mean, you have to ask Michael Doug. It was a bad batch. I don't want any more. Wow.
Whoa.
Oh,
if
boy,
if
that was
Honey
bad.
Nut Cheerios are a bad batch, I'm curious what a good batch tastes like.
I don't know. I would have to ask Michael Douglas. I know he's enraged right now. I don't,
Yes.
he's just
He
pacing
keeps
in her house.
He keeps
He's-
punching out the wall. Like,
He's gone supernova.
He has. That would have been useful against Thanos, but not now, buddy. That's old news, man. So, anyways, Howard, didn't we get some questions for the Blue Ribbon podcast?
and I
award?
can't wait to answer them. Nothing is off limits.
Wow.
Well,
Okay.
First of all, Mr. Carver, I would like to apologize. These questions I haven't taken a single gander at them, but I'm sure they're stupid, and that's because we have easily the worst fan base in all of podcasting.
No, don't say
seems,
that.
That seems possible because I believe you got them from Twitter, and that's full of, like I said, numbskulls and nitwits. So
Wow.
That's right.
I'll say
full
it.
of
I'm not scared.
Numbskulls, nitwits, pipskis, pipsqueaks, and peewees. Who knows? All right.
I think
First-
it's the fans who make us.
Yeah, they make us pissed off at the fans.
Hell yeah. I'll say this. I'll tell you who made me. My Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and myself. The only two people.
Who are you, Chris Pratt?
I thought it wasn't your name's Taylor Carver, but wasn't it originally Jesus Christ?
Oh Lord.
Well, I mean, only on my birth certificate. I changed it to be a little more relatable.
No.
Although it's
You're ju-
very hard to relate to me as such a rich person. I understand that.
Yeah, you've been on an airplane.
Have you really been on an airplane before?
Buddies, I am so rich. Sometimes they'll just let me drive the airplane. I think it's called fly the airplane, but
Yeah, that's-
I don't need to know it. I have people that I pay to tell me words, so it's fine.
You were the guy who hijacked that airplane out of Seattle about 8 months ago and flew it around, having a good old time. Oh, there was
Oh man, I don't remember
mean-
hearing about that.
no,
I-
it was a story for a couple days. Some guy who I guess now is canonically Taylor stole a little airplane from the airport. He was like
For a joyride?
He was like a baggage handler, and he just flew around. And then unfortunately, the poor guy didn't know how to land an airplane. But
So let
he
me
had a good
explain what
time.
happened.
Okay.
I feel like you're
Let's clear the air.
Yeah. Number one, my lawyer is on my cell phone. I can hear it beeping in my pocket. He's saying, "Taylor, don't talk about it." But I'll talk about it because it's, like I said, open season.
Yes.
Number one, I'm not actually a baggage handler. That was a disguise. As a rich person, I can buy many disguises, and that was one I purchased. Number two,
Well, that's very Ocean's 11 of you, I have to say.
hey, buddy, I don't know why I keep calling you buddy.
It's okay.
Because we're friends.
We're buddies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
But I do want to say, like, our friendship does not mean that you are going to fare unfairly well in the Blue Ribbon. I am completely impartial. I'm
Wow,
very
I appreciate.
impartial.
I
You're like
appreciate it as
Attorney
an artist.
General Barr.
And if you wanted to show your appreciation by giving me a Finsky or a cool Thouse, that'd be cool too. But we can discuss that off mic. It's not a big deal. I
Right,
also have-
right.
I have many charities that if you want to write a check for and just put my name on it, Taylor Carver with a C, it's fine. Like, you can do that again off mic. Back
And
to
it
my
will
story.
go. And it will go to that charity because.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know why have the I don't say you're a middleman necessarily, but yeah,
No.
it's like cutting out the middleman because you're gonna send it right to them.
There's
Okay.
so much red tape and mishigas and governments. They want their cut and they
Oh,
want their
everybody wants their cut. The
Yep.
greedy paws,
just
come on.
haters, and
Yeah.
I want to help. And if that means taking direct checks and depositing them in my savings account, then I'll do it for the kids or whomever it is. It's not important. So I had my little thing on. Now, they said I stole the plane. Not true. as I was running to jump in the cockpit, I threw a wad of 50s at the closest guy and said, "Put it on my tab." Because I have a tab at the Seattle airport because, like I said, I'm extremely rich. Now, usually I just use it for martinis. That's the rich man's drink. But I was a little fired up. It had 6 or 7 martinis. No olive. That was my mistake because it soaks up all of the alcohol, and I had not eaten. And anyhow,
This
next
sounds very
thing I know-
familiar to Sully's story. It seems almost identical. to
Well,
you and Sully.
listen, hold on. I didn't have a mustache, my man, so it's not the same thing.
Okay. Mike O'Malley wasn't giving you the 3rd degree either afterwards, because you and him are cool, I imagine.
Yeah, me and Mike were good friends. He came
What
to
about
my.
Mo?
I don't wanna. But I'm not here to air
Quirk.
grievances.
Okay.
Is all I'll say. We've had. It's fine. It's all right.
It's
Let's.
a torrid love affair.
This ain't Festivus.
Fair enough. So
Non-denominational.
you went on a joyride. That's it.
Yeah,
It seems
and
pretty harmless.
Did I buzz the what's the tower called?
Oh,
Space Needle?
Control tower? Oh,
Tower 7.
is that what it's really called?
No.
Were you just trying to get a good look at Fraser Crane's apartment and just wanted to give him
Yeah.
a quick wave hello to him and the dog?
Every Friday I wake up and say TGIF, thank God I'm Frasier. And so this was my way of saying, hey, thanks for the entertainment, friend. Turns out he doesn't live in the Space Needle, and that was a very dangerous maneuver I pulled off. But listen to how I finished that sentence. Pulled off. I did it.
Hey.
Mission accomplished.
I've been pulling one off every night for the past 37 years.
Ugh, gross.
Ooh. Well,
That's-
it's important to keep those things in check, so
Yeah.
good for you, Howard.
Thanks, Howard. That's much appreciated.
You're welcome. Hey, a lot of these dummies want no questions, and let's not keep them waiting. There's nothing worse than an impatient dummy. All right, dummy number 1. This cat's at Shampoodler. He says,
Shampooler.
yeah, this guy's no good. I
He's been
think.
stirring up trouble with the Blue Ribbon. He's been
Yeah.
constantly. He tried dry snitching on the Blue Ribbon podcast awards. I know you know this, but
Yes.
to Nick Weiger and said, "Look, Nick, the ribbons are green."
So, if I can, may I make a statement about this? I did
Yeah.
already explain they will end up blue.
Eventually.
It's a load of nothing.
Through science, yeah.
But the thing is, first of all, Shampoodler, not his real name, so that's shady.
No.
Number 2, Nick Weiger is one of my best friends.
Ah,
So for
see?
him to snitch on me, it would be like if somebody snitched on you to Uncle Howard, Franklin.
Right.
It
Right.
makes no sense.
It makes no
the
sense.
man you're closest with in the world.
One of your best friends. So you heard it here first.
Absolutely.
Best friends. That's
In-
something right there.
In my iPhone X,
Mm.
I have 2 numbers
That's
saved.
cool.
Yeah.
First one is my lawyer. Always be in touch with your lawyer.
Always.
Very important.
Oh, it was very
I don't want to
smart.
say his name because it could come off as anti-Semitic. But the second person,
Michael Cohen.
yes, of Cohen and Cohen and Cohen.
Yeah.
The second person, Nick Weiger.
Wow,
I call him
that's a
Wild
friendship.
Nick. I call him
Wild
Nick.
Nick. See, that's an
Yeah.
old friendship right there.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Shampoodler's
Sorry.
asking.
Yes, his question.
Why are the ribbons green? I mean, I guess we don't even have to answer that because it was a hit
Because of the
job.
haters. The
Because of
haters.
the haters.
Yeah,
Typical
it's a
haters.
sabotage. Because again, if someone's doing well and helping others do well, people want to drag you down. I
Well,
hope that answers your question, Snitch.
Doesn't it also have something to do with the Green New Deal and how we're more
Oh.
politically active than ever?
Right?
I
We've
don't-
gone. You guys have gone green.
Well, yes, because folks, we only have one Earth, and I'll be doggoned if I'm going to let it be destroyed. So many
That's a
animals are
class-
sick.
It's a
They're
class
sick.
move.
Yeah, and every time I fly, which is again often, I always
Wow.
say go easy on the gas, and they do, I think.
Howard, could you stop searching for pornography tabs?
I-
Over here, if a man of high esteem.
I've been trying to moderate a number of WikiFeed entries lately.
Oh my God.
Hey, no, there's nothing wrong with feet, bros.
I've seen
Yeah,
some of
it-
the most appalling WikiFeed takes lately. And it's,
Wow. Well, people forget it was the WikiFeed community that saved AOC from the fake nude barrage when somebody was like, "Nope, that's not her feet. Nice try." And so that's
That-
one. for
We
the
give
community.
back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
guy might be a true pervert with a heart of gold.
That's true. That's true. There's a lot of those good perverts out there. I'm glad the Blue Ribbon Podcast Awards will honor the good perverts, the horniest
Absolutely.
podcast fans out there. So.
And we'll get to that because I want to answer more questions though. Do you have
Okay.
anything else from the losers?
Oh,
Power
yeah,
Dawn.
sure we do. Let's see here. Okay, this is from a guy named Aaron Bryant at Big Bryant.
Biggie A. Bryant.
That's one man's opinion and another man's not. Hey, also, are you wearing Versace? Because now that we know you're Cubano, it's Versace Quavera. Okay.
I'm not wearing any of that today, guys. I
hey,
got it.
you're
And
just
one
a-
shorts.
You're just a regular guy.
I'm just a regular guy, you know.
And
yeah,
I love
my
that
cute
about
hair
you
is-
guys. I love
Yeah.
being with poor people. It's great. Please go on.
All right,
Well, we're
so,
not poor, you know. We're just
Sorry. Just everybody is poor compared to me. Is all I'm
true.
saying.
True.
Well-
Not me. Hello, it's Dr. Evil, everybody. This is my
Whoa.
property. Hello. I just wanted to say, Taylor from the Blue Ribbon, this is very legitimate. It's so legit. Too legit. I love it. I love it. I am a fan. It's very real. And I just want to say, I love the IRS for trying to be one of the biggest haters. But they're not.
Yeah.
They're not.
Nope. Thank you, Dr. Evil.
Let me shake your hand.
Long-time fan.
Yep, big fan. Big
I-
fan. The Blue Ribbon, particularly evil set of awards. I love it.
If you're a hater, yeah, they seem evil. That's what I would say.
That's thank you, Doctor Evil. Paying your
Thank you.
respects
Thank
here.
you.
So you're in good company. You're a
lot.
doctor. You got the endorsement of Doctor Evil, and Michael Douglas is still here. It's
Yeah.
That-
quite a bit going on
It's-
here
It's a
today.
night when all the stars have come out.
It's true. Hopefully, John Lovitz shows up at some point,
Oh,
or Alex Jones.
we can only hope that Alex Jones shows up. So Big Bryant wants to say, what are some categories we can look forward to being added to next year's BRPAs? That's a good
Well-
question, because they're growing, aren't they? Exponentially.
Absolutely. We are always on the move. We're bigger, better, badder, uncut.
Is that WrestleMania 13?
Well,
The South Park movie, I believe.
Oh, no, okay.
Exactly.
Bigger, longer, cut. Yeah, sorry.
as long as this part, we will cut this part. It's both of those things. But okay, back on. My beeper is going off crazy. That my lawyer hates this. So like we have the ones that we have this year, which I think we're going to go over in a minute here. But sure, we're looking for more things. And like. I'd be lying if I said I didn't want to expand it past podcasts because I think the internet is so vast. You could do so much. I mean, just hearing about the heroes at WikiFeed who saved AOC, I would love to put greatest WikiFeed posting person.
Right? Yeah,
that
get a
would be
good
nice.
numbers. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
They-
just. Go ahead.
They have badges on WikiFeed, actually. They have little badges of, like, you
And
know.
we're almost there then. What's a badge when you can have a blue ribbon that will eventually,
Ah.
again, I have to keep saying, will eventually be blue. Not at the moment. It's not a big deal, though, so let's not talk about it. But I do have to mention that.
That's true. It's a class move for you to acknowledge it when you don't have to do it. You know, that's
Like-
very big of you.
I just am trying to be transparent
Mm-hmm.
and just up there. And I want the loser fans to feel like, that they can trust me because they have no reason not to. There is one thing I do want to say. As in terms of next year and the year after, because they're gonna keep coming, folks.
Because it's very legit.
Yeah, you can't stop a freight train. You know what I mean?
Nope.
And this is like a freight train in many ways. One award that I'm looking at is best Miata owner.
Wow. That's a smart one.
Now, the only problem is, because I know, Howard, you have a Miata, that's correct?
Oh, I have a Miata at the moment, only one, but frequently
So-
I have 7 or 10.
Now, see, here's the thing. As someone who has owned 4 Miatas,
Whoa.
Oh,
I
my
respect that in
goodness.
you, and I think it should be celebrated. I've also sold those Miatas for no reason. Just I love to sell. I love the the way your blood gets pumping when you're doing business.
You
Not
love the
because-
thrill of the game.
Exactly, not because my apartment was foreclosed on. Certainly not that. And,
No, typical haters and their rumors. Ugh.
and yeah, just that's shampoodler bullshit, as I
Ah,
call it. Can we
typical.
curse on this? I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah, you can.
Yes.
You can.
I had a bottle of Ting earlier, and I'm wound up.
You're
That's
hyped
the
up.
astronaut's orange juice.
You haven't been to space yet, have you? With Lance Bass?
So okay, thank you. That's a good story. When I was in Seattle, I was there to see my good friend Elon Musk, who for sure shouldn't have his head cut off. And anybody that says that is dead wrong. He should not
More
have his head.
haters. Typical.
Yeah, just disgusting. He wants to make the world better by helping the rich people leave it. And as a rich person, so he was chatting with me and he was saying, I can't do a South African accent because I have not stolen gems from indigenous people like his family has. But
out there, it's bling bling. I can't do it.
Out there, out over here is bling bling. Out there is bang bang. That's Leo.
you guys love your movies, and that's what I love about you.
Yeah, Blood Diamond, 2005.
Check
Yeah,
it
and
out sometime.
There
Hell
is
of a movie.
nothing that Elon Musk knows more about besides dating troublingly young women than blood diamonds. So I was hanging with him. We were in one of his Teslas. Nobody's steering. You don't have to anymore. When you're this rich, the car goes where you want.
That is cool.
And he said to me, Taylor, are we going to outer space or what? And I said, or what? And so we went down to, again, the airport, hopped in one of those little rocket boosters he's got. We blasted around. Now, it's not, see, the thing is, it's not technically outer space, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm still within the Earth's rotation or whatever that is.
Right, but still.
All I know is Elon's barfing his guts out, and weed smoke from probably 6 months before is coming out his nose, and he is in bad shape. Me, I'm sweaty but fine.
Right.
It's very warm in outer space. They don't tell you that. It's just extremely warm.
This is extreme. You guys are right by you're closer to the sun than the rest of us. That's the problem.
And we stopped, and it was just beating down, and they didn't even have, like, when you have a car and you have those, like, shades you put in so your dog doesn't die. Like,
Right.
we didn't even have that. All our windows were open. It was a very warm situation.
Wow.
But so, I haven't been to outer space, but I've been to almost outer space.
You've been inner space.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a fantastic movie.
It is. Yes, I know that one.
Okay, so next question
Sorry,
we got
yeah.
here. Me gusto carne. I understand that. It's being Cuban. He's saying, through the lens of the divisive political era, in an age where disinformation is used as a weapon to alter the geopolitical climate, in your opinion, who really knocked it out the park at the Met Gala? Well, I guess this is a question for you, Taylor, since you are rich and you are familiar with the Met Gala. It's not a gallery of the Mets players, which I thought us commoners, we thought it was.
Sure,
a couple
sure.
boneheads. But it's a fashion thing, right?
Yeah, so if it was Mets players, that's always going to be Keith Hernandez. But it's not. Obviously, it's a gathering of rich people who don't understand words like
Keith Hernandez.
camp.
Right.
But, and that's a very good take, by the way. If you've been on Twitter today, you haven't seen that 300 times, so it's very intelligent that I said that. But to me, the person who really just, kicked the ball into the hoop, to use basketball parlance,
Right.
was Cardi B.
Oh, okay.
She had a gorgeous red dress. I'm not sure who the person was. I mean, cheaper than I would pay.
Of course.
Certainly, like a little below my taste levels, but that's okay. That's entertainers' money. That's not
Right.
mogul money. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mogul money.
That's right. I have that tattooed across my belly. It says
Mogul
mogul
money.
money with $2 signs on either end, and then an AK-47 underneath because I love Tupac.
Because that's just cool as hell. Like,
Yeah, it's fucking sweet. You take your shirt off, and people are like, oh man, he's all about AK-47s.
They think you're in the Bullet Club.
Oh,
You're the coolest club of them all.
the club's so cool that even I can't be a member.
Wow. Yeah, you gotta go to Jimmy's Seafood sometime, I guess. Uncle Howard, do we have any more questions here?
We do, but first, can we get a message briefly from either Jumpin' Jim or the Great Kali?
Okay, sure. We'll get a sweeper going in right now and take a little break ski.
This is the Great Kali. Keep going, make video pillow talk. Franklin. Uncle Howard, it is not for nanas.
And we are back, everybody. Sorry for the short little break ski, but we got another question to go through. Everybody wants answers from the Blue Ribbon Podcast Award commissioner.
And I'm here to give them.
That's right.
Franklin, I can't wait to answer this question.
All right, so Effervescent Siddharth on Twitter at CroatDF, he's asking, let me see here. It's all bundled up here. Why does the Blue Ribbon matter? In keeping with the times, does the Blue Ribbon Award hand out awards to all participants? I mean, obviously not. I mean,
First of all ribbons matter, okay? So,
God.
let's go.
Yes, even the green ones.
Even the green ones.
Especially the green ones that are about to turn blue, as we've discussed.
Yes.
It's momentarily green. It's not
Yeah.
a big whoop.
Yeah.
So, again, snitching is the lowest form of anything. That's
Right.
fine.
Flattery.
And snitching to
Yeah.
one's best friend, confirmed. Now it's confirmed best friend Nick Weiger.
And again, he doesn't like me to talk about it, and that's fair, and I understand.
Right.
But I texted him, and I said, Bud, are you up? And then he didn't respond for 3 or 4 days.
Right.
And
in
he
typical
wrote back-
friend fashion.
Yeah, like as best friends do. And then he wrote back, I was sorry. And that's the kind of friendship stuff we talk about. I don't even remember how I started talking about that. I
You guys
just
are
love
very
to talk.
close. You guys are
So
very
close.
close. Yeah.
He's like, and I hate to draw comparisons, I
Mm-hmm.
promise, but like you are with your Uncle Franklin,
Yeah.
I like to think that Nick is to me.
That's true. I
I
see
think
it.
of
I see
myself-
all your interactions on Twitter. You
Yep.
got a good jib jab.
Oh, 2 classic jib jabbers.
Yep.
That's when we went to high school together. Although I am a little bit older than dear sweet Nick, we in our yearbook most likely were chosen to be most likely to jib jab, and here we are, so many years later, still jib jabbing. I love him. I am so blessed to have him in my life. What was that question again?
So does every participant get a ribbon?
So
Howard, are you
obvious-
searching for jib jab videos? Is that what I
I-
see you doing?
I am. I've been.
You're searching for the jib jab videos, those comical videos where you replace somebody's face on a tiny elf.
Yeah,
hilarious.
that's right. That's right. They're very funny.
No,
And
you shouldn't be searching for that kind of
I,
stuff.
I edited one where I was dressed up like Johnny Depp from Alice in
Pirates?
Wonderland,
Oh.
and then we did a
Oh.
little musical number.
That's
It
pretty
was
cute.
Very
That sounds fun.
cute. Very cute.
Johnny Depp, friend of the Blue Ribbon Podcast Awards.
Yeah, that's right. Some people call them the Burpas, but I think that's disrespectful.
I just want to say I have so many friends. It's unfair to say that one is more so a friend,
Right.
but he's a friend.
He's a friend. You got a lot of friends, a lot of powerful
if-
people.
If it's a crime to have friends, then I guess I'm a criminal.
Lock you
Certainly-
up.
Yeah, put me in jail. Certainly not for embezzlement, because I've never done that, and that's fine. To answer the borderline ignorant question that I was asked, will everyone would be receiving a blue ribbon? No. While I will say that everyone that is nominated, in my heart, is extremely talented and great, except for some of those episodes of the Doughboys. I find them a little dry. But
Well,
but
you know,
but
they've
it's
been
fine.
around.
It's fine. It's, you do 630 or good. That's pretty good math.
That's pretty
as far
good.
as I know.
Yeah. The Doughboys. I mean, they're. We have a competitive rivalry with them. We respect them. They definitely respect us. It's
Yeah.
very lopsided, in terms of respect. But hey,
Look it. I talk to Nick and I say, be nice to those 2 boys. That's you guys. Those
Yeah.
2 boys. That's what I
Thank
call you. Those 2 boys. And he says, again, 4 to 5 days later, okay. And it just, I love it. And I know that he respects you. And
right.
And when he's that effervescent about it, you know that it comes from the heart.
Right. When
But
he's just
the-
giving you a straight answer like that, he's a straight
Yeah.
shooter, not a man of many words.
He doesn't BS.
Nope.
He just brings the truth.
That's right. That's right. That's your buddy.
I thought for a second I might be able to use B and S as like the acronym of something, but no, truth and S not the same.
No.
Not included. Truths. So truths. So the S at the end, it's fine. So to answer the question, I love all of the nominees.
That's class.
But you have to have a winner because it's rewarding excellence in podcasting. So
That's right.
everybody's excellent, but some are more excellent. And if I don't like the tone of that question, to be honest, but again, that's probably some basement masturbator on Twitter
Wow.
trying to rile people up. And I'm not your enemy, friend. I mean, I am in a sense of being so rich that someday my existence will eradicate people like you. But you don't need to worry about that. Just, crank one off in your fleshlight or whatever you people do. While I crank one off in the woman who met the guy who made the fleshlight.
Whoa.
That's the difference. That's the difference. That's the blue ribbon difference.
Wow.
Let's do another question. That ting is just sitting in me, and I feel so fired up. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Ooh.
Uncle.
I got a little sweat on you, Uncle Howard. I apologize.
I feel like it burns, but it cleanses.
Lord.
I've been told that by many people.
Well, we have, I think, one last question here. This is from this guy. I don't know who this is. It's Me Sleeves?
Captain Cum.
No idea.
You know,
Any-
you know who Sleeves is.
Never
Captain Cum, C-O-M-E?
Nope.
Come
See
on
you,
over. Come on over, baby.
Oh Lord.
That song has the same plot as Come to My Window by Bonnie Raitt.
Could you sing that song, Uncle Howard?
Come to my window, I'll be home soon. I'm coming home, I'm coming home. And she had, that's Melissa Etheridge, not Bonnie
Yeah.
Raitt. I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
I would like to apologize to every lady who plays a guitar on VH1 in 1994.
I'm just getting word on my pager that they accepted.
Bless their hearts.
Nice. Wow. Making deals here on your pager.
You're just
Busy.
always be closing. So this question's
So-
from
yeah, go ahead.
from Bonnie Raitt, circa 1994, and she wants us to know: is it true that receiving a blue ribbon is one of the steps towards immortality? If so, what are some other steps?
So, that's a great question. So I'm going to assume that
I
this
wouldn't
man
go
has
that
at least...
far.
Well, I will say this. He sounds like somebody that has driven in the car of somebody who has been rich at one point.
A fast
Oh,
car
God.
like the one
So-
driven by Tracy Chapman.
Great song.
Oh,
That
Lord.
is... Oh, boy. If we start talking Tracy Chapman songs, that will pretty much be
Sometimes
it.
I rhyme slow, sometimes I rhyme quick. That's what they. That's
Yeah,
the ones,
great. That's
right?
very beautiful.
Was that Tracy Chapman that just... Did she stick her head in the window? 'Cause
Yeah.
That's what that sounded like. to me.
Yeah. Look out, y'all! It's me, Tracy Chapman.
That's exactly how she sounds like.
Yeah.
Oh, it's an audio mirror.
Do,
Yeah.
Do 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 do.
Is that her
Anyways,
guitar?
Yeah,
that's her strumming away.
yeah. A lot of people don't know that I was Tracy Chapman's guitar on her tour in 1997. She just tucked me
wonder
under
she
her
was so
arm
soulful.
and played me away.
Nice.
So to answer your question, or the
Captain
decent rich
Cum.
person, I'm not going to say that. I have
Okay.
a thing called.
This is a
That's
family
mean.
podcast.
Yeah, I would. Anyhow,
It
it's
was
not
a family show, but still. It's his name.
It's not that kind
Family
of podcast.
Guy.
Great show.
Awesome show.
Very friendly family. Family friendly.
That's friendly, family friendly. It's only friendly to friendly families.
Okay, so is it a step to immortality? I'm gonna change it up here and say yes, but also no, because
Whoa.
is it literal immortality? No. But if you receive one of the prestigious Blue Ribbon Awards in year one, ladies and gentlemen, you will live forever in the hearts and minds of all podcast fans.
Wow.
Forever.
That is something to live in the hearts and minds of people like the esteemed Shampoodler and many others. I mean, that is no
I
easy
will
feat.
say,
It's a
when
lot.
you put it that way, it sounds horrible.
I love the
I-
Shampoodler. Shampoodler inspired a friend of mine to go viral, so he's a good man. He's not a
and
cop.
He inspired a friend of mine to think that I'm a swindler, and I don't appreciate that.
Oh, okay. I can see
So-
both sides of the coin there.
As Ian Smevanavius once said, kids who
Good reference. A lot of people are going to get that one.
absolutely,
I understand the reference
Yeah.
already, and I know who
Yes.
that is exactly.
absolutely, it's a very regular reference that people would get.
Yes.
A
People
kid
love
that
the
snitches.
makeup.
Yeah. Oh, such a good group of people. It's a nation of Ulysses in our hearts. As he once so memorably sang, a kid that snitches is a dead kid. Or something similar. I'm not great at remembering full reference.
Are you thinking of the sample on the Charles Bronson record where he says, "No way, put that away, man. That's not real. You've never seen anything so real."
That, the important thing about references is that mine are
One
right.
other person in the entire world gets it.
Yeah.
Then you've accomplished your job here.
Absolutely, and I just want to. Listen. I'm trying to relate to the Twitter kids. They love their references.
They
That's true.
love Charles Bronson's seminal
Yep.
late '80s grindcore band.
And if they don't, we'll teach them about it.
Yeah.
Uncle Howard. You were a big grindcore fan, yeah?
Yeah, I was big into that scene. I toured with Napalm Death for a
Nice.
number of years, and Brutal Truth. I was the one who told them that truth could be brutal in the first place.
And music has never been the same since you did that.
It's
and
never
we're all
been more
thankful.
brutal or more truthful.
It's
Yep. I
pretty
live my
amazing.
life.
For-
I live my life by the idea of brutal truth always.
Oh,
Pretty amazing for a man who watches that much CBS that you are so embedded in the grindcore community. I would have
Well,
never guessed it, Uncle Howard.
To me, CBS stands for C, Benum, which was a grindcore band, and then Spaz. C,
God.
Benum,
Another great
Spaz.
band.
Another
Well, they don't get
grindcore
any
band.
more hardcore than Abby from NCIS, so.
Oh, that's true. She
very
has a
alternative.
tattoo of a spider web on her neck.
I was once driving down Santa Monica Boulevard and I saw her walking and she was wearing all black.
That is cool.
She,
That is impressive.
No, I remember she was tormented by a stalker for a while. Was that you, Taylor, who was stalking Abby?
I thought it was a character. I thought it was an episode.
Polly Perrette.
I don't remember that. Was that
I,
a real situation?
Yeah, it was real.
Jesus Christ, how do you know this
I-
shit?
Because
was
I
not
watch
me.
Extra.
Now, here's the thing about that. Not me. Would never say you should stalk a woman. It's bad. However, I did meet the guy who knew a guy who knew her stalker.
Ah.
So, again, big city, big roller, rolling big, money, etc.
Well, people always think of stalking as a male pursuit, but if you ever took the time to go down to one of your local stalker greetings that are likely in your city, you'd know that there's a lot of female stalkers, like the lady who stalked David Letterman.
Oh, that's true.
That's a good point. Yeah.
That's true.
That's fair.
Or the astronaut lady who wore her spacesuit when she drove across the country so she could pee without stopping.
Well, she wore a diaper, most importantly. Howard, what are
Oh,
you
I
searching
thought-
for now? You're just.
Oh, I
clicking away
can't!
here.
I can't believe. I'm so sorry. I've got an awful case of the clicks.
You're just surfing the web here, looking at jib jab videos.
I
man.
got the bends. I was scuba diving down deeper than ever today, and I got all those bubbles in my joints. And every time I move, it just clicks and jerves.
No, well, we gotta get that checked
I
out.
found the heart of the sea.
So, I wanted to go into some of these awards you have here for the Blue Ribbon Podcast Awards this year.
Absolutely.
So
of course.
we got the Roger Ebert Memorial Award. I know my friend Jack Allison's nominated for that. I think he's almost a little offended because he thinks it means he's gonna lose his jaw soon or have that horrible Roger
Sure.
Ebert disease. It's not the case, right?
Not at all. Not at all. The reason that Jack has been nominated, number one, he's such a great internet presence.
Mm-hmm.
but also because his Jack AM show is tremendous.
That's a hell of a
And
show.
because I've never watched it personally. I
Of
don't wake
course.
up before noon.
No, you do
I'm not a
not.
peasant. But I've heard so many good things from adjacent people. And most importantly to me, because we're trying to do, big glitz and glamour, as the man who wrote and designed the new Sonic movie, we're trying to get Sonic to come to this awards ceremony, and I think if Jack's there, he can put some words in, and we can have Sonic
So he was the
there.
writer of Sonic, and they don't come any more
Yes.
bluer than Sonic, so that fits the mold right there for
Exactly.
the blue ribbon, you know?
Yep, exactly.
Ah, that is pretty cool. That's pretty
Gotta
cool.
go fast. That's a thing Sonic says probably in the movie.
Probably. Why isn't
it-
Jaleel doing it? It seems racist that he did the
It-
voice originally.
It's the
That's a
very
good
first
point.
thing he says in the trailer. It like has the slow pan down to Sonic's face, and then he says, "Gotta go fast."
Nice.
And
It's
the
so
thing I like the
cool.
most about the Sonic design that Jack did is it's not scary at all.
Right.
Like it's
right.
just
It's not
it's
horrifying.
very comforting. No.
Very comforting. No. Very, it's just like it's like a real person that's there, if Sonic
Yeah.
actually existed. It's like your friend.
Exactly. If you met an anamorphic hedgehog, that's what it's gonna look like, folks.
Yeah, it's smart. That's a
And
smart move there.
And I know he's getting a lot of guff on the internet about it. So I just want to say I stand with Jack and stand behind his Sonic. So I hope he appreciates that because
Very bold of
as
you.
a yeah, I mean, I know times are tough because he's fighting the monsters in Hollywood who I don't respect. I want to put that out
okay.
there. And as I say that, I wish I didn't say it with my real name attached.
True.
But forgive me for speaking the truth.
The
Like,
monsters.
brutal truth.
There's a lot of great people in Hollywood too. You
Yeah.
didn't specify who the monsters were.
That's true.
Yeah,
you meet
you're
the great people. Like as I said, when I met Michael Douglas tonight,
Yeah,
great person.
Great person. Great
person.
And-
Dr. Evil, great person.
Another great person, And I always say when you see the bad people in Hollywood, it's always best to Warner Brothers. Fuck, I almost had it. Fuck you guys.
Well, it's funny that you want to talk about the bad people in Hollywood. I'm sorry if I can interject here, gentlemen, and I do agree that when you see the police, you better warn a brother. That's a funny joke. Thank you very much. Anyway, by the way, if you aren't familiar with myself, my name is Alex Jones. I'm fortunate enough to be awake to a lot of the stuff that's going on in the government. We're putting the fluoride in the water. We're putting the fucking homosexual genes in the frogs, and whatever. Next thing you know, we're eating corn made of penises. Now, I don't gotta say that I've been looking at the Met Gala, and I see nothing but Satanism, propaganda, and all of that, and it makes me absolutely sick. Anyway, if you guys want to buy some Alpha Brain, you go ahead and you use promo code Joe Rogan.
Wow, thank you, Alex, for stopping by. He's going back to Dr. Evil's lair.
Goodbye,
I would
everybody.
just like to say. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm done. I'm just baffled by the man. You were saying?
I as someone who has eaten corn made from human penis, it's not that bad. I'm not sure.
An advocate
That's-
here.
That's not the worst thing. But again, and I say this with all due respect, not something that most of the listeners would relate to because it's only for Richie Richardsons
It's
like
only
myself.
for the rich, huh?
Yeah.
For
We
you
get
and the kid,
finest.
you and the kid from Blank Check. That's the only people who can relate to it.
Now, I don't know him,
Oh, okay.
but I do know the guy who met the lawyer who did the divorce for the actor who played the limo driver.
No,
So-
now those are some major Hollywood connections.
That's when you got the big cheese like I do, and again, it's so
You-
silly to say.
Yeah.
I have so much money though; it's nothing to worry about.
Jeez, money ain't a thing for you. You're like Jermaine Dupri and Jay-Z in a Ferrari and Jaguar.
I have more money than both of them combined, as far as I know.
Wow, you have more money than Jermaine Dupri?
Absolutely.
Doesn't sound that hard in 2019, but all right. No disrespect.
It was a little disrespectful.
A little
I'll be honest.
bit. I hope he doesn't listen.
He
Yeah,
has a
I'm-
son named Your Majesty.
Oh, sure, that's pretty cool.
That's
Yeah,
a
it's
sweet
really
name.
That's a pretty dope
cool.
name. Okay, I take it back. Sorry, Jermaine.
Uncle Howard.
Yes.
I think maybe you need to give Franklin a bit of a spanking for that.
He's not gonna give me a
Well-
cherry red. He wishes he could. He's old as shit.
I can't.
Wrestle me.
that's
I
rude,
can't
but-
give this beautiful boy's brown buns a cherry red. They're that work of art.
It's true. It could be a hate crime. I am Cuban.
Yeah,
Well,
that's true.
and I don't support hate crimes.
That's
I would
true.
just like to say that.
The
That's
only-
a very bold
the
stance
only-
to take.
The
I've
only
never-
hate crimes I have is that I hate crime.
Oh, good one.
Class move. So, okay,
Yeah.
we got a few other
That's right.
awards
Yes.
here. You got the Best Uncle Nephew Duo, Horniest Podcast Fan, Smartest
Sure.
Podcast, Best Star Wars Podcast, Best Twitch Cast, People's Choice, the Marwin Ribbon of Courage, Best Chain Restaurant Reviewers. Those are just a few. I didn't list them all, but these are
Sure,
some
sure.
great
So-
awards you have here for. I mean, what an all immersive award show.
Absolutely, and the people, like, I'm just gonna bounce around a bit. I hope that's okay.
No,
but-
please.
Now, I'm not speaking out of school here, but I will say this: for that Best Uncle Nephew Duo, I think I'm looking at the winner.
Yeah.
we don't know
We
yet.
don't know.
Wait.
We don't
We
know.
don't know. We don't know. We don't
Okay.
know.
To
Again,
be-
I will mention that I am always open to charitable donations.
Okay.
If you want to slide that check over,
That's
again,
true.
my name
That's-
with the C,
With the C.
Taylor.
To
Yeah.
be fair,
Uh,
you haven't looked directly at us all night. You've been kind of staring askance to
Well,
this.
I love your wallpaper. How would you describe your wallpaper to the listener?
We'd call it biological, largely.
And I'm a big nature nut, so
It's
I just
very
can't stop
organic.
looking
Yeah,
at it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
very rural.
There's
you know.
a lot of DNA on these walls.
Yeah, yeah. It's you know.
I was wondering why you kept flicking on a black light when I came in, and it was actually brighter with the black light on. It didn't make sense, but
That's strange, right?
it's so weird.
It's more science for you. You know, people have learned
Yeah.
a lot on today's episode. So no.
And I'm not much for science,
No.
except science. I'm making Big De Niro. That's me.
Wow.
We
Speaking of science, Smartest Podcast. We have a ton of great people lined up for that. Joe Rogan.
One of the smartest.
He was mentioned. Genius. A true genius. Sam Harris. He's a smart guy.
Another
not
one.
a fascist. So he's nominated.
Well, and we know who he is very well.
That's
Franklin
true.
and
I do know
we're,
who that
We're
is.
always talking about
Yep.
that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's good. He's the kind of guy that doesn't make you embarrassed to not believe in God. I've never had that feeling of listening to him and thinking, oh, if only I believed in God. This would be a lot easier, I think. Who else? The Horniest Podcast.
Right.
Fan. And now, this might seem like a bit of a dark horse, but I know there's a guy that loves your podcast,
Uh-huh.
and he's a bit of a wrestling nut,
Oh no.
and his name is David Bixenspan.
Oh boy. He's a horny one.
He is extremely horny.
Right.
Every conversation I've had with him has dissolved into just the most graphic words I wouldn't repeat to Uncle Howard himself.
Wow.
But he's such a dedicated fan.
He's
that-
the only man who's had phone sex with a speak and spell.
Was it in a documentary and it said local sex haver or something of the sort? Sex
yeah.
enthusiast, I should say.
Yeah.
That's
Wow. Yeah, well, I mean, that says
And-
it all.
And if it's in a documentary, it's true.
Yeah, because those are boring as shit, so they better be true.
Yeah, it's nothing but boring facts.
I hate him so much.
Best Star Wars podcast. There's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
There's the Luke and Leia love cast. I don't know if you guys know that one. It's a little more
Sounds
low-key.
ancestral. Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm not here to judge the content. I mean, I guess actually
You kind
that's
of are.
expressively
That's your-
what I'm doing. So, listen, let's move on from me breaking character. Bosk in Our Glory.
Yeah.
That's one. That's
Okay.
good. That's a great one. That's
Now-
the one. I don't listen to many podcasts, but that's one I do listen to. I will say that.
Now,
much
now
appreciated.
Here's my problem with that podcast is
Okay.
it's supposed to be Basque in Our Glory. That's an amateurish mistake, and they really are showing their ass with that title. They're fools, and
Well, no, so I can explain that to you, Uncle Howard.
I wish you would.
As a world traveler, if you go to the Basque region of Spain,
Oh, of
that's how
course.
they say Basque. So I assume that one of your gentlemen podcasters, because it's a podcast
Yeah.
about Star Wars,
Yes.
obviously gentlemen, they're from the Basque region.
Well,
Spain?
Bird has some Spaniard descent actually, so it's actually
Okay,
there you
well,
go. There we go.
I-
We're legitimate.
Hieronymus Bosk in our glory.
God.
Um,
So we got best Twitch cast. Now that's something. I mean,
Yeah,
now I thought
sure.
Twitch was that. Now that I just thought that's for bozos. I know Jack does a virtual trucker thing on there, so I don't want to slight the man. There's, and he does his morning show as well. But I thought that's a lot of gamers. Is that a lot of
listen.
Yeah.
This is a way for me to reach out to the truest haters.
Ah.
Because there's nobody as angry and depressed and mad at my success, which is real and not imagined, than Twitchers.
True.
Is that Twitchers? That's what we
Yeah,
call
I
them?
guess we're calling them that. Yeah.
Not
it's
a good
a-
look in 2019.
Well, come on, Howard.
What? How do you figure?
Well,
What is it like? What do you think? It's like a drug enthusiast thing? It's no.
Yeah, that's what they're calling
Twitch
these days.
streamers? I mean, come on, that's too
Yeah,
long.
well,
Twitchers.
Yeah.
We're calling them content creators.
Oh Lord, that's too honorable.
Time
to
is
me.
money, Howard. I gotta say it as quick as I can.
CCs.
Twitchers.
Fair enough.
Also, controversy equals cash. Great book.
Great
Read that.
book
By
Oh,
a great man.
by a smart
Reference.
man. Very smart.
referenced many
He's
times
actually-
on this show.
He's nominated as well for smartest podcast.
Oh God, yeah,
Because
that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a real. It's like reading a book, but for your ears.
Herrick Bischoff,
Uh,
congratulations, you're nominated.
He's back.
Best best theories about global warming as well. I hear.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you're right, baby, you're right.
You're right. Yeah, straight up.
But yeah, so I mean, again, and if Jack's listening, which I'm sure he is, I'm not saying he's a shoo-in for this, but as he is the only Twitch I understand exists, he looks pretty good right now.
Oh,
Again, I will mention to him, Taylor with a C on those checks for any charitable donations to really, not to seal the deal, but if you could see me winking right now, maybe that would be a thing.
That might help.
Yeah.
yeah, I see that. Joe Hartzler's also a Twitch guy. He seems to be doing rather well at the show.
See, now I feel bad because I like Joe. He's a good man, but he's actually nominated in the People's Choice.
True,
for the
true.
for the Breadcast because
all right.
again, as someone who's I'm not a hardcore podcast guy. I have my people. They tell me what's good, and they said to me, "You can't listen to this boring podcast about bread. It's the worst." And I listened to it, and it was great. I loved
see,
it.
you see?
And for me, I mean, I'm not saying he's won Taylor with a C to all checks, but if it was just my voice, he's my choice.
Wow.
That rhymes.
That's
by
a
the
bold
way.
move. Yeah.
That's-
That rhymes
that's how
has
you
got
know
to be
it's
true.
real.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you have the Marwin Ribbon of Courage. Welcome to Marwin, a movie about a foot fetishist who creates dolls and takes photos of them and was attacked by Nazis for cross-dressing. It's
I
a deep
did
movie.
not see that coming.
yeah, it's a heavy movie.
So that's a movie that means a lot to me personally for many reasons that I don't choose to discuss out loud. But to me, the most important thing about that film, or excuse me, not the film, the award, is that, and keep this under your hat, guys, unless you listen to this and hear it, we are probably going to get the man who did the makeup on Steve Carell's feet in this movie
Nice.
to give the award out.
Wow, that's a big get.
If that sounds rinky-dink to you, by all means, blow it out your ass because
Whoa.
that cost a lot of money.
Wow.
And, I mean, not a lot to me because, again, endless supplies that are not in a Swiss bank being frozen by the U.S. government.
Not at all.
Not a real thing. Shampoodler, I'm looking at you, narc. No, it's a lot of money, but he's gonna come, and he's gonna give the honor and dignity to the award that it needs. There's so many people that are included. I wouldn't want to spoil that for them. So come out to BugCon, you'll see who's nominated in that one. Now, here's the last one
All
that
right.
I want to talk about. If that's okay.
No,
with
of
you
course.
guys.
Yeah, no.
By all means.
You get the best chain restaurant reviewers. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
And so that's the one I'd like to talk about.
okay.
Because this is the one that for me, there's maybe two front runners.
Okay.
There's the Doughboys with my best friend Nick Weiger and
Right.
the other gentleman
Noted
whose name
best
I'm
friend.
not familiar with.
Okay. Mitch?
Mitch? Yeah.
His name.
Mitch McConnell.
Mitch McConnell.
Very
Does he have
funny
news?
man. That's what we're trying to find out. And
That's the goal.
And
honestly,
if you need any money for that, Howard, you let my lawyer know and he'll get you some.
I will.
Now, so the Doughboys, men, to me they're men, you know? They've achieved so much in the art of podcastery that to me it's the men, but you know, whatever. I'm not.
That's big of you to acknowledge them as men.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're dough men as well. They've been nothing but kind to us.
Absolutely. And I'm sure they're good guys. Like, how could anybody from LA and Boston, two of the least racist cities in the world, how could there be anything bad about either of those people?
Impossible.
No, not possible. And to cheer for the Celtics and the Lakers, only the best people in the world. do
Normally,
that.
true.
Yep. They're the greatest fan bases. Not embarrassing. But I think a bit of a dark horse, and I don't know if you guys talk about them a lot, but they are Doughboys adjacent, is the Deli
The
Boys.
Deli Boys, right. We mentioned them. They're at BugCon as well.
Yep. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I see now. I don't know who's going to BugCon because again, well, we'll talk about that in a second. I don't
Yeah,
wanna,
yeah.
I don't want to like gild the lily. That's not the appropriate one. But to me, the Deli Boys very underrated, and I don't want to say it's for the reasons that we all know it is, because that's not for me to say.
Well,
but
right, of course not. It's not for any of us to say.
no,
We don't have that
absolutely
leeway.
not.
We do not have
Nope.
that leeway. my friend.
Absolutely, and as the good people in Austria taught me, I certainly don't have that leeway. And again, I would just like to apologize to the people at Gunter's in Austria. It was miscommunicated. I don't speak Austrian or whatever jimble jamble language that is, and I'm very sorry. And certainly, retrospectively, I didn't do the hand gestures. It's fine.
It happens.
We all make mistakes.
It happened
We
to
all make
JBL, you
mistakes.
know.
And he's a good man.
That's
also.
a good man. They don't come any
Hey.
better.
Laura,
don't let
Laura
any-
Ingram also had similar troubles, if I remember.
Oh, you see Laura Ingram as well. Laura Ingram,
Yeah.
JBL.
Yep. And they don't just let anybody work at Fox News.
No.
You have
No.
to be a certain level of intelligence.
She's a
Clay.
doctor.
right. Right.
Brodus Clay worked there. at
He
Fox
does.
News?
He does Fox News a lot.
that's
you know,
cool.
You know who's been on Fox News though? Also, is a good friend of the show, Andrew WK.
No.
Now-
Was he?
now
Was he do
Andrew-
Red Eye?
Yeah, he was on Red Eye. He just made funny.
Red Eye's probably the
faces.
only acceptable show you can do for
Yeah.
Fox News, and that's
Yeah.
it. Like that's it.
The lead singer
And
of
you still have
Fucked
to be
Up-
an asshole on it, but you can
Nice.
be on it.
Yeah. The lead singer of Fucked Up was on Red Eye, I think, and he's
Yeah.
a good guy.
Yeah,
you
he
can
just
be
did
on
a
Red Eye.
documentary about wrestling.
Nice.
I think.
Oh,
If you're into
Fucked Up. That's a Canadian band, so that must be why you like them.
Absolutely. So
but
yeah,
out here
so-
in the real world, let me tell you something, pal. That Canada stuff doesn't carry a whole lot of water.
now,
Oh, God.
I knew you'd be like this, Uncle Howard. You know I have nothing but respect for you.
You know that I tackled Bret Hart at the WWE Hall of Fame, and
Yeah,
I wish I
true.
broke that son of a bitch's hip.
And that Rasta hat you have, your notable Rasta hat.
Now, I'm gonna be honest with you right now. I am almost speechless with rage because Bret Hart is a good man
Oh no.
who has done nothing wrong.
Right.
He wrote a book in which he spent, you would think, too many pages talking about all the sex he had, but yet never feels seedy.
No.
Has experienced nothing but, loss.
Yeah, that's
And-
true. It's pretty grim.
Now that said, you smoked him, Uncle Howard.
He did take
so
him. He did
fair-
smoke him.
Yeah.
They needed 12 men to
Yep.
really to fuck up Uncle Howard here.
He
And those are wrestling men.
Yeah, wrestling
so
men,
that
big
almost
boys.
counts.
Double.
Yeah,
he
some real hunks.
Yeah.
he looked like a receiver on a special team when Vince McMahon's XFL had no fair catches, and I just fucking tore that fool in half.
I remember.
now-
I remember it was going. Ugh.
Return that kick. It was like NFL blitz, and then I just dropped an elbow on him even after the refs were whistling.
And that does remind me at BugCon, there will be a video interlude of all the dead from CTE trauma XFL wide receivers.
Also at
Very
BugCon, there will no longer be Super Smash Brothers as the tournament, but instead it will be NFL Blitz in 64.
Nice.
So better brush up, chumps.
Yeah, I will.
So there is the elephant in the room, and I'm not talking about the painting of an elephant that one of you guys did.
Yeah.
Are
That
you
looks
talking
great.
about my ex-wife?
Lord. Lordy. So the elephant in the room being you will not be appearing at BugCon, and you've asked us
No.
to host the award show, which we agreed
In my
to.
honor.
Yes, in your honor as your friends.
Yep. Yes, of course. And because I know that there's only 2 men for the job, and I hope you don't take this the wrong way. First, I asked Nick Weiger, my best friend, to do it.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
And I think what had happened is he had dropped his cell phone in a puddle
True. That happens.
and has just not replaced it yet because he never got back to me.
True.
And that's fine.
That's a
And that's
common
alright.
occurrence. You
Yep,
know, I give
mean,
women my
not-
number all the time, and you know what? It's just a lot of women don't have phones nowadays.
That's true because you don't want to keep that on you because you could get mugged.
That's true.
and that's
true.
dangerous.
And that's
It's a
very
safety
dangerous.
hazard.
It's a
And I know
safety
that
hazard.
Nick cares so much about safety, and so that's why he hasn't responded to me,
True.
even though it says red. And
Yeah. Well, he read it and then
now-
it fell into the puddle.
as he was writing back, yes, I
Yes.
want to do this. That's how I assume it happened.
I imagine as much.
But if I can't have my best friend Nick Weiger, close confidant that he is,
True.
there's only 2 men I would want, and that's Uncle Howard and dear sweet Franklin.
Yeah. Well, why aren't you
Because I
gonna?
know-
Why aren't you gonna be there though?
Well, so here's the thing, okay? I'm a money-making man. Okay.
Very true. We see Versace, decked in
Versace.
Versace. You know.
I'm
Vera.
holding open the jacket so you can see the
You
sign.
can see the
that
label
says
right there.
Versace.
I see it. I see
Yep.
the tag right there, folks.
And you'll notice that the tag is blue.
That's true.
It's green, but again, like the same, I will sweat on it. It will turn blue. It's not important. But the reason I won't be there, cash doesn't sleep, folks.
Money
And
doesn't
if you
sleep.
want to see,
Wall
if you
Street.
want a season 2, exactly, yeah. If you want a second year of these, I gotta be out there on my grind. Not because I need more money, because again, I cannot overemphasize. I have an endless supply of the stuff.
Wait, wasn't
But-
it canonically established early in this episode that this was not the first time you've hosted this award?
Well, it's the first time at BugCon.
Yes,
Oh,
that's
That's what you
sorry,
meant.
sorry.
No, that's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
yeah.
understood what you meant. I understood at least.
I'm sorry, I did not. I forgot about BugCon. I was so excited about the Blue Ribbon Podcast Awards.
Yeah, I've done it for 3 years previous,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
but in those 3 years, they were released as podcasts.
Smart.
And unfortunately, due to some misspellings and a bit of a problem with the microphone, they're pretty much unlistenable.
Right.
But they do exist out there. If you're what's the word I want to use? A loser, hater. Certainly spend your time on iTunes Store looking for them. They definitely exist there.
True.
You should look them up. The last 3 years, so you know what the years are. But this is the first live experience for all the bug fans, bugmen, or
Bugmen.
whatever.
Yeah.
And women.
Yeah,
Bug,
true.
bug ladies. I'm not
They're
sure.
they're gonna
It's
be
not
there as
important.
well. Yeah.
Bugs of all shapes and sizes, and sexes and everything. And I, not to go off tangent for a moment, but I heard, Franklin, that you're looking to have a little bug sex.
I
when
want to
you're at
make
the-
sex for the 7th time in my life, and hopefully I will do it at
Yeah.
BugCon. You know, anything can
And-
happen at the Marriott.
You're gonna have sex like a bug, like when you see the dragonflies and they're flying around with their butts stuck to each other.
What? Is this a scene from Ants?
Have you never seen that? You've never been outside and you've seen 2 dragonflies flying around and they're having sex and they're just butt to
Fuck
butt,
no,
but they're
dude.
still flying around?
No.
I have a
Man.
gondola that I often see that happening in.
Ah, that's pretty cool.
That's a money thing.
That's a money
It's-
thing.
Gone, Dola, gone. Great, great song.
But it's okay. Yeah. So number one, you will for sure have sex for the 7th time.
Thank you.
As a multiple time sex ever, I don't like to kiss and tell.
Mm-hmm.
But certainly more than 7. No
Wow.
offense.
Wow. Okay.
But that's, listen, buddy. It's just the way it is. I'm a big wheeler dealer, and ladies love the hustle.
True.
But I recognize in you that same sexual power. And I hope that's okay for me to say as I'm making eye contact with
Absolutely, and you're shaking my hand.
you.
Yeah.
Yep, and that's because that's how you seal the deal where I'm from. You shake hands, you make long eye contact, and you talk about people's sexual power. Nonetheless, the reason I will not be there is because I have businesses to attend to. And again, before this gets out, there was a misreporting, a lie, as I call it, that I am currently banned from the United States. Not true, because I'm here right now.
That's true.
Now, did I use my name on the flight logs when I flew in? No, but that's just because I like to give people a surprise when I land in the many airports I frequent.
You don't think
It's not...
You don't think people love to see that when Tom Cruise comes by? He gives an alias and he shows up. It's like, oh wow,
Yeah.
it was Tom Cruise the whole time flying on Delta.
Tom Cruise's dentist?
On Delta.
On Delta.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That,
Tom
you know,
That's
Cruise's
okay, yeah.
dentist on Delta. That's
That's,
Tom-
that's
Tom
the name
Cru-
of my book of poetry I published.
half the time you're on an airplane, the captain is actually Tom Cruise, just under a fake name because
He
he's
does do his
so-
own stunts.
True.
He is so humble.
yeah,
Yep.
class
He
act
doesn't.
right
he
there.
doesn't say this is Captain Tom Cruise. He'll say like, "Hey, this is Captain Sully."
Then he'll crash into some doves.
Or Captain Phillips. Either way, they're all the same guy.
That's true. They all exist in the same universe. So
Yeah.
as we
That
wrap things up
Captain
here,
Cinematic Universe.
as we wrap things up here, is there any parting words for all the fans who are excited for the Blue Ribbon Podcast Awards? I know it's a shame you're not going to be there, but you will be there in spirit, you know. And,
Of course,
and, you
yeah.
know, I don't know if you're going to the Cayman Islands or you're just bouncing around with a hot model
be in-
girlfriend, but you know.
I'll be in Switzerland with my Canadian girlfriend who exists and is as real as the piles of money that I sleep on every night.
Whoa. That
So
is
with
cool.
her, and that's a power move. If I was to take off my Versace suit right now, you'd see Benjamin Franklin all over my
Wow.
okay? Because I sleep in the nude. P.S.
Nice.
It is generally nice. Again, as such a sweaty man,
True. It's
a
a
little
necessity.
troublesome in the
It's a
morning.
necessity.
Yeah.
It's a necessity, really, more so than a.
I'm burning through a lot of Benjamin Franklins because they are unusable the next morning.
That's fair enough.
But we'll be jet setting Montreal, Switzerland, all of the cities in Switzerland.
Nice.
The Cayman Islands to check on all the monies I have.
All the
Many
buddies. Oh, wow, plural people.
Maybe we'll splash around, go to Singapore, have a sling. That's a drink.
Oh.
There's so many places, and to be honest, as much as I deeply respect all the people that are nominated, except again for David Bixen's band, who's just a horny pervert, I would not want to be in the same room as the type of people who would be interested in this.
Oh wow, well that's honest.
And I have to say, it's just the smell I imagine will be unbearable. And again, and I'll be honest with you again, brutal truth. If I see that
Great band.
Shampoodler in the flesh, I'm gonna throw hands at him.
Oh boy, yeah, we don't need that.
And as rich as I am, that loser would be set for life.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that for him.
Well,
Smart moves.
Taylor, I'm surprised you're going to Singapore when you're so singer rich.
Good lord, Uncle Howard, where can they find us?
Oh gosh, I hope they don't try, but I'm on Twitter. I'm at Miata Guy for you. That's the letter 4. That's the number you. You can send me a message or to Franklin, and we'll give you stickers. We're on what are we on? I don't know. Stitcher, iTunes, any podcast thing. If you can like us, rate us, review us, subscribe us, 5-star podcast Blue Ribbon award us, anything you can do. Gosh, we'd powerful appreciate it. Go ahead and tell all your dumb little friends about us. They're stupid just like you, so they'll probably like it.
So rude.
Hey, you just
It's
watch your
brutal
mouth,
truth.
pal. You brutal truth. Napalm death, non-stop. suck.
Shouldn't you apologize to Teach for being rude? I think he was very upset last week.
Who?
Teach.
Sleeves?
It's Teach.
Are they different?
Oh Lord, you got a real attitude, Howard. You're begging for a cherry.
Yeah, I got an attitude, all right, pal. Cool attitude.
Oh,
Hey, we are gonna be at the Bug Convention in beautiful Burbank, California, June 8th, June 9th at the Burbank Marriott. We got stuff going on, I think, both days.
Yep.
Conveniently. So
You sound upset. That's not a passive aggressive.
No. I'm genuinely thrilled.
Okay.
I've had almost more good times in Burbank than I've had bad times, and believe me, I've had a lot of bad times in Burbank. You check us out. We might have some special surprises in store that will be exclusive to the live event, at least until later, in which case they probably won't be exclusive anymore.
Jesus Christ.
Am I good at this? I don't know. All right, Franklin, you have stuff. Tell them.
Follow me at BugTV Franklin. That's really all you need to know. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram that I never use, so follow me there. Try to find us on elo.co Talk with Franklin and Uncle Howard, one word. Yeah.
Elo is on the rise. That's
Yeah.
a great get for you guys.
Right? Yeah, that was big. We're exclusive there. The Doughboys are not on there.
Friends in Elo places. We're also on Facebook, actually, at
true.
Pillow Talk with Franklin and Uncle Howard, and I'd like to give a big shout out to the guy who sent me a bunch of messages telling us about Pornhub.
That was cool. That was pretty cool.
That was
And that's
cool.
why I cannot make the Blue Ribbon Award.
We don't play
Thank
here.
you again for taking that bullet.
And Uncle Howard, what do you have to say for anybody who doesn't feel the Blue Ribbon Podcast Awards are legitimate?
Well, I guess if everything you've heard on this episode hasn't given you a lot of deep thoughts and regret about how you didn't think they're legitimate, I think most experts in the field of science would have to agree that you should go fuck yourself.
Hi. One thing that we didn't mention that I feel is important to say as a successful businessman is to get my branding out there for you guys. So if you want to follow me at Twitter, you are going to want to go to @Flattery, FLATTERY _sucks, SUCKS, to see what I'm doing when I'm not making billions. And if you want to give me a follow, that's fine. I won't speak with you. And actually, now that I have a second here alone, I just want you guys to know, if you guys want a Blue Ribbon Podcast Award for yourselves, just send me a check with your name, my name spelled Taylor with a C. You send that to me through my internet, and I will cash it, and maybe when you get to BugCon, there'll be a special ribbon waiting for you. In the immortal words of the sweet, sweet Uncle Howard, and especially towards Shampoodler, who is a narc and will rot in hell, fuck all of you.